This is not financial advice, it's my personal opinion. I think IOTA is a scam. They're using buzzwords like free transactions and smart contracts to sell the idea that they're somehow going to compete with EOS or Cardano or blockchain, delegated proof of stake blockchains, which are offering free transactions and smart contracts. And the thing is that IOTA is, in a perfect world, IOTA would be suited towards machine-to-machine transactions, where things are automated between computers and systems in the deep internet underneath a sort of performing like tasks for sort of artificial intelligence sort of thing. That's where IOTA would be suited, and that might be the reason why Microsoft is interested, although the idea that Microsoft is interested is perhaps fake news dreamt up by the same scam artists that run IOTA who are doing this scam. The technology isn't, also EOS and Cardano could quite easily perform IOTA's tasks, but not the other way around. IOTA couldn't do what EOS and Cardano are going to do. So the technology is also not open source. IOTA say that's because they don't want people stealing it, which is ironic because they stole it from Byteball. Byteball is another technology that uses DAG. So the idea that they don't want it to be stolen when they stole it is quite laughable. They have this thing running. They're also, IOTA is based upon a ternary system of not binary, it's ternary, which means it's got a -1, a 0, and a +1, whereas binary is just 0 and 1. And that makes it incompatible with a lot of systems that are, all systems which are currently running are binary within the blockchain, so it makes it quite incompatible. That's the first problem. The next problem is that they're using proof of work, whereas Byteball uses I don't know what Byteball uses actually. I think it's I don't know what Byteball does, but they don't use proof of work. But IOTA is using proof of work, and it's a fixed difficulty, and it's a very low difficulty, and it could quite easily be hacked by someone building some ASICs, ASICs, which could out hash the many different nodes which people are going to be running effectively on their mobile phones, I think. And this means that the algorithm could be broken, which in part is the reason why they have to run this thing called a coordinator. And what the coordinator does is it protects the system against a 33% attack, which is not 51% attack, it's a 33% attack because you're one person validating two transactions, which breaks it into 33, 33, 33. The irony of this again is that the people who claim to be protecting the network against the 33% attack probably hold 60% of the coins. You know, I would imagine 10 people are holding 60% of the IOTA coins after this very narrow distribution in the ICO. So then we move on to, it's an algorithm called curl, I think, which is the problem. If you want to look that up, that's the proof of work algorithm that they're using. Then we move on to the fact that I think it's not open source, which means that they say that they don't want to have it stolen, so they have the coordinator is not open source. No one really knows what it does or whether it has back entries in. And the reason that they would have the curl hashing algorithm is not open source either, and they say that that's so if someone stole the technology, they could have a backdoor entry in, which then it tells us that they actually have a backdoor entry into their own system. So I think they could potentially censor any transaction they wanted to, steal whatever coins they want of anybody else, and the coordinator is never ever going to be lifted because it would just, people who don't like IOTA would just within a couple of months find a way to completely crash the system. So you're investing in, if you invest in Byteball, which is here, you're probably investing in, I say probably because it's unproven technology, but you're probably investing in one of the safest technologies available. And if you invest in IOTA, you're probably investing in one of the most unsafe. And Byteball is about 60 or 70 times cheaper than IOTA. Now, can IOTA go up from here? Of course, the whales can do whatever they want. They own 60% of the coins. They can tighten up the supply on the exchanges, and they can pump the hell out of it, and it could probably go 10 times in value. It reminds me a little bit of Ripple. I own Ripple. I bought Ripple when it came out because I knew the scam was going to work. I knew they were going to, the Ripple scam was going to work, and eventually, like, the banks are going to adopt it in the same way that maybe Microsoft is going to adopt IOTA, because these scam organizations who run our lives also like scam coins because they can control them. So, as long as you know what you're getting into, and that you're getting into something which is a scam and a Ponzi scheme, effectively, then fine. But I mean, probably BitConnect has got a better chance of making you money than IOTA does. So then we move on to Byteball. Byteball has functional DAG technology that's not using a proof of work algorithm, which means it's not open to hacking by ASICs. And the wallet is first class. I mean, this has been developed by this genius of a guy who put Byteball together. And it's not just copied from something else. It's written from scratch. You have chat function with bots that can tell you work out if you want to have a can of Coke with your pizza, and do it all automatically and charge you in the wallet for send you bills. It's got multi-signature transactions, so it kind of works like if you imagine Google Authenticator for logging into exchanges. You can authenticate transactions on your mobile phone from your wallet on your computer. So it means if someone hacks your computer, they can't really do anything unless they also hack your telephone, which is highly unlikely. That's a first for a coin wallet. I think maybe one of these multi wallets has that sort of thing. I guess it does have multi-sig, and you have to set it up. But this is an individual coin, and it's already set up for you, so quite easy. Now the last thing is that so I'm holding EOS and BlockNet, and I'm holding some Byteball, although I tend to accumulate more Byteball as it comes down more in value, and I'm holding a little bit of Cardano as a hedge against EOS, and also Salt and Solaris, and I buy these low and sell them high. So whenever they go down in price, I'm buying them, and whenever they come up, I've lost a bit in Nexus though. It's gone down a lot. And swing trading Bitcoin Cash, but then again that's come down, and I tend to be more on the side of the Bitcoin on the Bitcoin debate. I'm more on the side of Bitcoin Cash, although I don't really believe in either of them. I think Bitcoin is going to go to $500,000 or something, and from there it's just going to spread out into all the other coins that are competing with it. So I think that the general public are going to pay an awful lot for Bitcoin, and the people in the know are going to sell their holdings into them and then dump it into coins which are more useful, like EOS and BlockNet and Cardano. That's all. Again, I'm the crazy guy who thinks the Earth is flat, so you shouldn't listen to a word I say, and do your own research. Thanks a lot, and take care. Bye bye.